Let's connect our HubSpot data to Google BigQuery. First, I will go to powermetrics.com and I will log in with my Google account. Once logging on Power Metrics, I will go to create and I will select Google BigQuery as destination. Here, I will select HubSpot as a data source, and to name my connection so I can organize my data, I will call it for this example B2B. I will go to next and it is time to connect my HubSpot account. So in connect accounts, I will go to add account and I can connect multiple HubSpot accounts in the same connection. So I can blend data from multiple HubSpot accounts. In the case that you are an agency with multiple clients, this will be a great way to monitor all of them at once in a single table. But I will connect my account so you can see how it works. It is as simple as going to connect HubSpot, link Power Metrics to HubSpot, and we are done. I can retrieve my HubSpot account here, and I will select this one in particular. Now I will go to save, and I will go to next. Inside my connection, I can create multiple queries. For instance, one query for pipeline, another for deals, another for contacts, another for companies, and so on. I will create my new query. I don't need to change the data source. It is HubSpot. I will go to Google BigQuery. So I want to set up this connection to send the data to a particular table I want. Here, first, I need to log in with my Google account so I can retrieve the Google BigQuery project I want. I will connect my Google account and I will be able to bring all my projects associated to my Google Cloud or my Google Console account. I will select marketing data. This is the project I am working on. And I will select the location multi-region. In case that you have a particular compliance requirement, I encourage you to pay attention to what location you want to store your data, what server you want to use. So I will use multi-region, and as data set I created in the past, one created called marketing data, and my table will be called HubSpot. But before I put it there, I will create this table so you can see how it works. I am on my Google BigQuery or my Google Cloud account. Here you see that the project I am in is marketing data. So in marketing data, I am on Google BigQuery in the studio, and I will go to datasets. On datasets, I will go to marketing data. On marketing data, I will create a new table. This table, remember, is called HubSpot. The same name I used in my new table, I will put it here. So here it is HubSpot, and I have finished my connection to Google BigQuery. Now I will select metrics. Metrics are the numbers like total contacts, total deals, deals value, lost deals, won deal value, and so on. All the numbers on HubSpot, you can put them here. So in metrics, I will select things like total deals. I could select things like deals closed or deals won. And I could select, for instance, deals value. I am doing this example with deals, by the way. So I am done. Maybe I can add more metrics. Actually, I can combine in the same table data from deals, from contacts, from companies, which is something quite unique in Power Metrics. Now, here I have another metric I would like to choose, which is deals close count. I want to know how many deals I managed to close. Now, I will create a new metric. Let's say I want to calculate my own conversion rate, my sales cycle, and so on. I could do it in case I don't have this data directly from HubSpot. I will show you how to calculate your own custom metrics. I will go to create metric. I will call this metric, for instance, conversion rate, and my conversion rate will be simply dividing my my deals won by the total number of deals, or my deals closed. If I enter this prompt, I can do it in natural language. This will show me the formula I want to use. So I am dividing the deal close one, the number of deals that I have managed to close, divided by the number of deals that I have in total that are closed. Here, this will give me a percentage. I don't have the preview, but I will see the data in Google BigQuery. So I will go to create, and I have created my custom metric here that I can send later to Google BigQuery. Actually, you will be able to see it later. So I will go to dimensions, and in dimensions, I can break down my data however I want. I want to break down my data by date, by a deal close date, by lifecycle stage, and so on. For instance, by deal pipeline. So in this case, I will use deal stage. And I am seeing that the deal stages that I have in this HubSpot account are custom values. But I would like to clean this data because some of the values are repeated, because, of course, all CRM data is incorrect. So we can clean this data. I will go to create a new dimension, and with the same logic I used to create my custom metric, I will use it to create my custom dimension so I can segment the data the way I want. In this case, I want to clean it. So I will call it like new deal stage. I want to clean this data. And I want to say, hey, if the deal stage contains the word coti, in Spanish it is quotes, so cotización or quoting in English, if it contains this value, tag it as quotation. Else, keep the same name. Why this was important? Because I noticed that some of my deal stages had the same name, so they meant the same thing, but they were different values, so it was harder to analyze. So I have some value that is called cotización or quoting, and another value that is called cotización or called quoting, for just to say it. So I want them to unify it in a single value so I can clean my data and unify it. Once I enter this prompt, I can see that the AI is interpreting it correctly, and I can see the regular expression that gives us the calculation. In this case, I can see this preview correctly. Then I will go to create, and I am done with metrics and dimensions. The next settings are way more simple to set up. Here in the date range, I could use dynamic or custom date ranges. Custom date ranges are, for instance, February 1st to February 28th, or something better. What about if we use dynamic date ranges like the last 7 days, the last 30 days, the last month, this month to date, this year to date, last quarter, and so on? With dynamic date ranges, your data will keep updating regardless of the date that you are in, because it will automatically calculate the date range that you want. In this case, instead of last 7 days, I would like to do this year to date. And I will close this date range option, and now it is time to filter my data. I could, for instance, say, hey, I don't want to use all my deals or all my pipelines. So I could say, hey, I want to exclude a particular deal stage. If the deal stage contains, for instance, closed or lost, I want to exclude this value. Now with filters done, with the ranges done, sorting is more simple. I will sort my data by total deals and descending. So in the top, I will see the stages with the most deals. Finally, in a schedule with natural language, I could prompt anything like every 12 hours. So I want to sync this data or refresh this data every 12 hours. I could prompt, for instance, every Monday or every weekday at 8 a.m. Just for an example. In this example, I will do it every 12 hours, and the AI understood my intent and my time zone based on my browser. Finally, I will go to settings. Settings mean the way I want to export this data in Google BigQuery. I will suggest generally that you use override because it is the most simple one. Override is simply removing the old table and creating a new one. In what cases you wouldn't like to use override? When the API that you are using doesn't store historical data. If you want to make sure to save historical data, maybe you want to use append. Append is that it will take your current table and it will add a new row every time you want to refresh your data, or it will add the corresponding new rows. The issue with that is that you might duplicate values. The good thing is that you can keep your historical data. In the case of update, I think it is quite useful for CRMs. Updating, what we do is that we will find in your dimensions similar values. And if we find a match in your values, instead of overwriting that data, we will simply refresh the metrics. It is like a more efficient way to refresh your data. Otherwise, you can simply overwrite. I think it will do mostly the same thing. And this is something that we do at Metrics that is quite special and unique. It turns out that the API of HubSpot is quite limited. I will just make up a limitation. They say, for instance, hey, every 10 seconds, you can retrieve about 100 rows of data. Generally, most CRMs have thousands of contacts or thousands of deals. So if I want to get a query directly from the HubSpot API, the data will break. So in Porter Metrics, we created a smart way to backfill your data. Once you connect your data, we will start to back up all your historical data, all your tables from deals, from companies, and from contacts. So when we get the data here, the data will be ready to be retrieved. This means that when you create a query here and you export it on Google BigQuery, it will take seconds to load. With any other tool, you might wait hours and maybe expect outages or expect errors because you hit a limit with the API. We make sure that we backfill all your data, managing your limits so you can have all your data available within seconds. This is a huge thing, but you will notice it once you start doing this implementation with HubSpot and Google BigQuery. Now I will choose override. I will save this query. And once I save this query, I will play this query and I will send it to Google BigQuery. So I will play this, I will execute this query, this runs successfully, and on Google BigQuery, I will find the table we just created. So in my tables, remember that I am in the project marketing data, my data set is marketing data as well, and I will look for the table that is HubSpot, which is here. The first thing when I go to tables is the schema of the fields or schema. In the schema, I can see all the fields that I am pulling, and you can see the ones that we had in the queries. So I have the stages, I have the deal amount, I have my custom values. But if I want to see the actual data, I need to go to preview, and in preview, we will be able to see our HubSpot data on Google BigQuery. Now it is time to connect this HubSpot data from Google BigQuery and visualize it on Google Looker Studio. I will go back to a page builder, and with parametrics, you have available this button that says View in Looker Studio. We can connect this data from Google BigQuery and directly visualize it on Looker Studio. So I will click here, I will acknowledge, I will accept, and this table doesn't come directly from Porter or from HubSpot. It is from Google BigQuery. I will go to save and share first so I can publish this report, acknowledge and save, and I can continue. Now, the same data I have on BigQuery, I have it here. There is only one caveat. The field's naming is not friendly. It has underscores, so we can fix that. First, let me change some values. I will remove the record count here. I only want to keep some dimensions. For instance, I would like to have my deal stage and my deal amount. I will show you something else in our query builder. If I will go back, you will see that our current query is called B2E, but this query is actually about deals. So I would like to rename it. And if you see here, you could create more queries with your HubSpot data. So here I will go to the settings. I could duplicate this query or I can rename it. Instead of B2B, I will call it instead deals pipeline. With this, now you have clarity that you could create more tables for contacts, for companies, for your funnel, for your email marketing, for your website data coming from HubSpot. And this is how you can connect your HubSpot data on Google BigQuery and then on Google Looker Studio. I will see you in another tutorial. Bye.